Hello and good evening, everyone. Actually, that's a weird wave, isn't it? So yeah, no OCD reading tonight because I wanted to talk a bit more. I realised in my last video I kept talking about the end, as if it's tomorrow. And technically it could be. And I realised that sounds very morbid. And I don't want you guys to think I'm suicidal near the end or anything, because as far as I know, I'm fine. Mentally I'm okay. I'm doing pretty well mentally these days, actually, which is a really good thing. Well, it's a great thing. It's a brilliant thing. An amazing thing. Anyway, yes, I did come off as a bit weird, I think, and morbid. Discussing, death and all. But the sad thing is, I was thinking today, I've always been an avoider of, difficult situations, because actually there was a comment left on one of my videos recently that, well, one that got uploaded today. And when I say today, I mean the date I'm recording. It's not the date this is uploaded, because you won't be seeing it then. And one of probably my most regular commenter, actually, a woman who has probably left more comments on my videos than anyone else has. I guess you could say they are my number one fan, if such a thing exists for people who talk about depression and other mental health related subjects. And it was the video where I talk about taking out the headphones and how I had that conversation with that woman at the bus stop about dogs and grandkids. There'll be a thumbnail in the description up around about now so you can know what one is and look for it. And the funny thing is, I've come to realise every conversation I have to make, or every equivalent of that sort of situation, I dread. I'll go to great lengths to avoid it. I have to make a phone call, I will avoid it, even if it is to my own detriment. But eventually at some point I'll force myself to do the phone call. And after the phone call I'll be like, that was fine. Why do I fear these things? Next time I'm just going to do it. You know what happens next time? The exact same thing. The exact same process gets repeated again and again. And it's very bizarre. But this is how my brain works, and this is why I'm pretty certain I am some sort of neurodivergent. As I said, I will be looking into that soon. Just gotta figure stuff out, Then again, I really need to do some research and find out things and find out reasons. So I can't just go to a doctor and say, I think I'm neurodivergent, doctor. Can you do something? And they'll be like, yeah, of course you are, mate. But seriously though, yes, neurodivergency. I'm pretty certain I am one of those things, possibly more than one. Thanks to a commenter who did pretty much confirm my suspicions. Yeah, I intend to do something soon about that, hopefully. Hopefully something can get done. I can get an explanation. I don't really want to, just get loaded up with pills so it doesn't work, although sometimes that's what you have to do. It's like when you have a headache, so you need to take something to get rid of the headache, but you don't really want to do it because, you don't want to keep taking pills for things. You don't want to become reliant on them. That's mostly I suppose really you could argue that's my number one fear of this whole thing. Reliancy, dependency, whatever you want to call it. And considering how bad the local pharmacies are at the moment in my area of the world, where you end up waiting sometimes a week, 2 weeks to get a prescription you used to be able to get straight away. I'm using my parents as an example here because they have a lot of pills. I'm not actually on any prescriptions at the moment, for nothing. So I'm quite lucky. I can't remember last time I actually had a prescription written out for me and I had to go get something. Can't remember last time. Must have been pre-pandemic, I think. Or around about pandemic time anyway. So I remember I used to go see a doctor or nurse. They're both good and they're both qualified to diagnose you. Both are good. They'd write out a little prescription. I'd walk across to the chemist, because the one I used to be with was literally just across the road from the doctor's. It's very handy. And you go there, hand over a piece of and they give it you. Nowadays, that doesn't seem to be the thing. Nowadays, you get the prescription, take it up there, and you have to wait days for it to be ready. And then you go in after several days of waiting, which they tell you it's ready, and then it turns out it's not ready. Or in the case of the latest pharmacy, according to my parents, you wait 5 days, you call them up, you ask them if it's ready, they say it's ready. You go and they say, not ready yet, needs to be checked by a pharmacist who's currently on their break. So you come back an hour later and they're like, right, just got to check that. It's not good service. It does make me worry if I do need pills, you know, how long I'll be waiting. Not to mention the emotional breakdown I'll probably have, because I imagine I'll probably start crying. Relief at finding out something's up with me, and at the same time sadness at not finding this out 30 flipping years ago. Funny enough, I was a bit of a special needs kid. I remember when I was young, I'll say very, very young, almost near the beginning of my life, I was very quiet. Strangely quiet according to my parents. And they sent me to this special school. This was before I started main school. I can't remember it, but I've been told about it. So I went to this place called John Horniman, where it was like a special skill where they dealt with special needs kids, because there was always a fear that when I was first born that I might be Down syndrome, because I have an uncle who was Down syndrome. Sadly, he's no longer with us. He's passed on to the afterlife now. And obviously, less things were known about it then, so it was always presumed that we just had the genes for it. But of course, I don't think it works like that. Anyway, due to that and lack of knowledge back then on such things, it was presumed that I was, so they sent me to school. According to this school, the reason I never say it is because my sister done my talking for me. And I think about that a lot. A whole lot now. And I think that was probably the clue that they had. That I was, not quite regular. Or neurodivergence, as they say, because I don't really want to diagnose myself, Because I feel like it can cause more problems than it solves, and it's also an insult to people who have been diagnosed to just say, oh, I've got this thing too. Anyway, I think about that a lot, and I can't help but wonder if things were different, or if people were more knowledgeable back then, I could have been diagnosed there and then. Because back then, people didn't really believe in such things. I remember growing up, I remember once that my grandparents were watching something on TV and this special needs kid, and my nan said, no such thing as these ADDs. All you get is children that need a good smack. And I kind of wonder if that influenced my parents thinking a bit as well. Because they didn't know any better, and well, I suppose really you listen to your parents, don't you? I mean, you adopt things from your upbringing. Half the time you probably don't even realise you're doing it. Even those who rebel against their parents will sometimes adopt things from their parents without even realising it. In case you want, I'm swapping hands because I ain't got the selfie stick out today. I thought this was going to be a short one, but you know me, it's never a short, always a long one. And I've got to keep looking at the flipping camera right there. Not here. See, if I look at the camera like this, you can actually see I'm looking at you. But if I look at the screen, I can see I'm kind of looking off into the distance. See, at you, to the distance, off into the distance. To you, to me, to you, to me. A nice contemporary reference for you kids. Where was I? Oh yes, I was talking about how lack of knowledge probably may have screwed me over in life a little bit. But then again, I've done okay, I've done okay, actually no, I haven't really done okay, let's face it. Life hasn't quite gone. It's funny enough, you see, I follow groups on Facebook and people talk about their neurodivergencies, and they seem to be well-adjusted people, and they have friends, they have relationships, and they have people who accept them just as they are, and I think, how the frick are you people meeting other people? How? The only people I ever meet just think I'm weird and still a child. That's another thing. I remember a while ago when I was convinced I was a man-child. I was wondering if that's part of it too. Sorry, I just thought of a title for the video. And it kind of stopped me in my tracks. See, this is another thing. See, I get distracted so damn easy. I talk about one thing, and you probably notice this in my videos. If you do listen to what I say. You probably notice I talk about one thing, then suddenly end up on something else and I forget where I was. Happens a lot. A whole lot. It's like my brain just can't stay on the same thing, you know? And thinking about it, I've been like this most of my life. And thinking about it, in primary school, I was a gifted kid. I was one of those gifted kids. Well, sort of gifted, because I was very intellectual. My parents, I think my parents had dreams of me going to university and, you know, getting a high-paying office job or something. Instead, you got this. A walking massive anxiety. That's works minimum wage jobs because I'm not really qualified for anything else. In a way, I'm very lucky. Because normally, if I was born into a less tolerant family of my eccentricities, for lack of a better term, I'd probably be homeless now. On the streets, doing something else. So I should be grateful for the life I have. I mean, it's a good life, really. I'm very blessed. I mean, blessed, I am privileged too. I say blessed. But I'm not too sure if I really have any beliefs, so I'm not sure you can really say I'm blessed as such, but I am privileged and I'm very lucky to live the life I lead. Very lucky to be, I have a lot to be grateful for, really. I mean, I was born in a decent era. I'm born in an era that's mostly peaceful. I mean, I know my generation had Iraq and Afghanistan wars to contend with, and Kosovo and a few others, but at least there was no conscription for my generation. Those who joined the army by choice. So I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky to be born in this part of the world where there is relative peace and stability, despite what the news may tell you. I mean, I can walk down to the shops, I can walk into the next town without any problems. So there's some places in the world where you just can't do that. So that's another thing to be grateful for. We have half decent public transport. £3 a ticket, I think, in my opinion, is a tad expensive. I think it should be £1. I think all bus fares should be £1. £1 per journey. That's it. You get on, give the driver £1, grab a seat, and you get off when you want. That's it. I think a lot more people would use the bus then. I think less people would drive. And that would be a good thing, because less cars, you know. Less noise, less traffic, less pollution. Not that I'm one of those people who thinks that cars shouldn't be allowed, because I get why people have them. I have one. Myself, it's a Fiat 500. It's sky blue. I love it. It serves a purpose, even if the radio doesn't work. And the engine light does come on every time I drive up a big hill. Yeah, ironically, the engine light will switch itself off after a nice long drive on something flat. Like the A24, for example. The engine light ever does come in my car, I just go for a bit of a drive on the A24. And I find if I go from home to Box Hill, well, not quite to Box Hill, but if I go, there's like a little diner place which is where a lot of bikers like to stop. It's just north of Dorking, I should say. So you're in, this is Surrey now. Yeah, I find if I drive there, park up, use the bathroom, go back to my car, switch the engine on, and the engine light doesn't come back on. It's weird. I know, it's really weird. Yeah, I drive along the A27. If I get to, say, the Southwick Tunnel, sometimes it will switch on. Sometimes it will come on by Devil's Dyke, where, you know, you got that really steep hill. Last time I drove down there, it survived both those bits of road. But on the way home, on the really long hill after Hollandbury, on the way home, the engine light came back on. 2 days later, I drove along the A24 to Box Hill, as I said, and the engine light came off. Works every time. So, yeah, my car. And, sorry, just laughing at the fact that I was talking about how I get distracted and sometimes forget where I am, and I just realised I was talking about how lucky I am to be born in this time, place, and in this family, and I suddenly ended up talking about the engine light of my car that comes on occasionally. See, this is exactly what I mean. This is what I do, and I know there's probably some of you watching this thinking, well, this is all scripted, Jim. This is scripted. No, it's not. I can show you now it really isn't. I mean, do you really want to meet the person who could write this sort of person? I don't want to meet the person that could imagine me. Really don't. So yeah, that's me. A massive anxiety and forgetfulness and distractions. 3 things. They say that women are made of sugar and spice and everything nice. I am made of anxiety, distractions, and what's the third one? I can't remember now. It's 3 anyway. It's massive anxiety, contradictions, I think is something I said. Well, I am made of contradictions. I'm full of them, and distractions. You see? Itchy finger. All the time the phone's holding. One hand is holding the phone. I can't just, scratch myself. Well, I can, but I can't scratch my hand. Because, it's my scratching hand. Did you know that? You probably noticed I scratch a lot during these videos. Outside the videos I'm fine, but for some reason as soon as I start recording I just get itchy, so I gotta scratch here, scratch there, maybe on my back. Ooh, maybe the bottom thigh needs an itch too. Or scratch, I should say. Strange how it works out. Still, we all have our things, and one day I'll probably get past it. And as I say that, the inside of my left ear is starting to itch. I won't be curing it. I won't be getting past it today, it seems. So what else can I say? There's not a lot else I can say really tonight. I think this is it really. It was only meant to be a short one. Yes, I know I said that earlier. It was meant to be a short one, and please no jokes. I've heard them all before. Unless you think it's original, then please do comment. Actually, even if the joke is unoriginal and uninspired, comment it, because it all helps, helps drive engagement and allows more people to see these videos. And maybe one day I'll get past 200 views. You never know. Could happen. Anyway, I'm going to finish this off now because I'm going to keep repeating the same stuff I keep going on there, and I do need to sleep. Because I need to go Oh, did I mention I was jogging again? I think I did, I can't remember now. But yes, I'm jogging again. I've got these I think I mentioned in my birthday video, I've got these trainers from Decathlon which are really, really comfy. They're like orange and sort of they're white on top, but the sides are sort of like an orangey yellow colour. They're really cool, I think. And when you run in them, you feel proper cushioning, which I've never ever felt before in my entire life. Is that what I needed? Just a more expensive pair of shoes? Never know. Either way, they're cool trainers and they're individual. Now, funny enough, I was thinking, when I was looking for a good pair of runners, I was thinking, why are most trainers just black or white? I mean, if you want colour or a bit more of expression in your shoes or in your trainers anyway, you really got to pay a lot of money, which I thought was it's just not good. It's like creativity comes out of price, or individuality I should say. If I should start wearing a pair of black or white trainers, that look like almost every other pair. Sad really, but I got these on offer, so I'm happy. Very, very happy. Anyway, as I said earlier, I'm definitely going to finish this now, okay? So, I want you all to, before I do go though, I just want to say, I want you all to love yourselves and take care of yourselves, okay? Because each and every single one of you, especially you, yes, you know who you are, you deserve it too. So look out for yourselves, okay, people, because you matter. Each and every single one of you matters. And until next time, bye.